Hello out there, fellow Fabianites. Larry O here in Fabian's foyer. It's my privilege to follow Pastor Tim, Terry Runyon, and Noel Chase in sharing a brief Advent devotion. We want to thank you for joining us on these 4 Wednesdays in December as we seek to prepare for yet another Christmas. Understand that I've known of this, my assigned day, December 23rd, for some time. I knew quite obviously that it came just 2 days before December 25th, Christmas Day. But when I checked my calendar, something I seem to have to do more often every day just to know what day it is, I noticed that it is also a day that comes just 2 days after the winter solstice, December 21st. The start of winter, marking the longest night of the year. Perhaps you've heard of churches that conduct very special services on this date, the longest night service, designed for people whose year has been filled with deep, deep darkness, heartache, and loss of every imaginable kind. Recent news even carried the story of one such church here in southern Kansas City that has had a separate service on Monday night for families who have lost loved ones to gun violence. Such services are designed to offer words of hope, community support, and loving encouragement. What I'm feeling today, folks, is that what such prayer services strive to offer is just what all of us are needing at this time of year, and needing it desperately. Observing the season of Advent and preparing for Christmas entails work. And it's not the kind of work that we're fond of doing. It's not easy work at all. Preparing for Christmas involves our being able to name the darkness that resides within us and the darkness that surrounds us all. The spiritual work of Advent requires us to come to a greater awareness of all that's really missing in our lives, all that God really intended for us to be and to enjoy. The work of Advent means confessing our helplessness in the face of such darkness, and then opening our hearts and minds to the only light that can penetrate the dark. Now here's an Advent wreath and candles that I have brought from home. Symbolized in each of the 4 Advent candles is what I believe the world is in such short supply of: hope and peace and joy and love. Precisely the things that God wishes that we would have and seeks to give us from his heart. So yes, a single candle, the center candle, the Christ candle, remains now to be lit. The one that we reserve for Christmas Eve, the one that we normally would do on Thursday night. We'll miss being together, but each of us can recall what we have cherished most about past Christmas Eve services here at Fabian. Maybe it's the welcoming glow of luminaries on the walkway coming into the entrance. Maybe it's the familiar sight of the stable, the star, and of the shepherds. Maybe it was the joyful singing of carols. And of course, the reading of Luke's account of the birth of Jesus. You know how it goes, how in those days a decree went out from Caesar Augustus that all the world be enrolled. And yet, folks, there remains the really true high point, the climactic moment of that Christmas Eve service, which is the lighting of the central candle, the Christ candle. And along with it, the reading of the Christmas story as found in the fourth gospel. Hear how it goes. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of all people. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. That's the verse I want you to hold on to. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, full of grace and truth. We have beheld his glory, glory as of the only Son from the Father. Never before in my life has that fifth verse of John's prologue arrested me so, grabbed my attention as it has this year. That verse that reads, and the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. The darkness has not extinguished it. The darkness has not comprehended it. The darkness has not apprehended it. The darkness has not put it out. Out of all of the mind-boggling, magisterial assertions of John's prologue addressed to us in this year of the Lord 2020, in this miserable year of the global pandemic, this is the truth, the verse that speaks most to my heart. No darkness, Larry, no matter how long-lasting, how soul-terrifying, how energy-draining, can put out the light of Christ. So hang in there. Friends, this is the truth we need to hear again and again. The true light has come in Jesus, God's Son. This is the reality we need to grasp, that no darkness can overcome this light or separate us from Christ's love. Is this not the promise, too, that we need to trust? Whoever follows me, said Jesus, will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. Stay with me one more moment. One day this week, as I considered all of this, a hymn tune and title came to mind out of nowhere. It goes, Light of the world, we hail thee, flooding the eastern skies. Never shall darkness hide thee again from human eyes. Where had I learned that? Why had it stayed with me? I looked for it in our current United Methodist hymn room, but it wasn't there. I couldn't find it. So I searched in earlier editions, and there it was, an old hymnal I had received as a boy from the youth choir director of my church in Auburndale, Massachusetts. A gift no doubt, for my sticking with the choir and performing in more than one Christmas pageant. The last verse here, the last verse of this hymn reads as follows. Light of the world, illumine this darkened earth of thine, till everything that's human be filled with the divine, till every tongue and nation from sin's dominion free rise in the new creation which springs from love and thee. My only word today is that I would hope that verse, that sentiment, Light of the world, we hail thee, would be Fabian's anthem this Christmas. And let this too be our corporate prayer, that the God who in the beginning shouted, let there be light, will shine once more in our hearts to give us the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ. Amen.